This video will show you an overview of the results section in the tools and how to analyze your data. In fact, the data you input in your carbon footprints is converted to a corresponding quantity of carbon dioxide emitted, which is a greenhouse gas. The quantity of carbon dioxide equivalent emitted is used as the common unit to look at the environmental footprint of your organization's activities. Once data is entered into the tools and successfully submitted, you're able to go in the results section and visualize the impact that running your buildings and projects has. The more data entered and the more accurate are calculated carbon emissions. Once you get more familiar with the tools, you can create test footprints to estimate ahead of time how much emissions would be generated by the project you want to create. And from the footprint, you can see which part of your building or project is associated with the highest carbon emissions. So is it the energy used for powering your art gallery? Or is it the audience traveling to your theater to watch a show? Or is it even the production set of your exhibit? You could really be surprised. And this way you can identify the areas where you can get creative to improve the sustainability side of the project by decreasing emission levels. In the Summary tab, you can view your results by emission source or by footprint for a specific year. In this case, I can say that audience travel represents a major source of emissions for my general footprints. I can deepen the analysis of this impact source by clicking on the pie segment and seeing which modes of transportation generate the most emissions. You can view your results by emission source and look at all your footprints together for a specific year, or you can view your results by footprint and look at your footprints individually for a specific year. To download your results, you can click here and choose the desired format. In the Compare tab, you can view the environmental impact of one or all of your footprints across the years. You can look, for example, at how carbon emissions generated by your venue, in this case, I will select my Creative Green Theater, have evolved over the years, knowing that each building footprint represents a full year of data. You can highlight emission sources as well to see the impact of initiatives you may have established over time. For example, we have started composting here in 2021, and we can see this has helped decrease our waste-related emissions. If you have an annual tour, you can also compare the results over the years in a similar way. In order for you to be able to compare footprints in this section, you need to create your footprints each year from an existing footprint instead of creating a new footprint every year. And this step is clearly explained in our videos on how to create footprints and add data. The more information entered in your footprint and the more options the software has to analyze emissions. So in this case, I can look at my results as a total value of carbon emissions, or I can also look at it per meter square or per visitor, depending on which perspective I want to use to look at my emissions. In the Detail tab, you simply select the footprint and the year you want to analyze, and you will get a detailed list of all your emission sources. Lastly, the Benchmarks tab is not yet usable because the current benchmarks shown here are from Julie's Bicycle in the UK. It will eventually represent Canadian data and become an insightful reference to see how your footprints compare to organizations and subsectors similar to yours and where to prioritize your efforts. Since the tools have been only launched in 2022, we will wait until enough data has been submitted by Canadian organizations to have a valuable benchmark.